Hello and welcome. So, you've done it. You've put in all the work and built a really great Power BI report. But now comes that big question. What's next? Creating the report is really just step one. The real magic happens when you get those insights to the people who actually need them. Let's walk through exactly how to do that.
It's a super common feeling, right? You spend hours connecting data, designing visuals, and getting everything just perfect. You hit that publish button, and then you're kind of left wondering, okay, what do I do now? How do you take this awesome thing you've built and share it? Don't worry, we're going to clear that up right now.
By the end of this short explainer, you'll know exactly what to do. We're going to cover 3 key things: how to organize all your work so it's not a mess, how to share it like a total pro, and my personal favorite, how to set your data to update all by itself.
Okay, first things first. Before we even think about sharing, we've got to get organized. Seriously, getting this part right from the very beginning is going to make everything else you do in the Power BI service so much easier. So, the heart of organization in Power BI is something called a workspace. And the absolute best way to think of a workspace is just like a project folder on your computer. It's the one place where you keep everything for a specific project. All your reports, your data, your dashboards, all tucked away neatly together. Now, you're going to see 2 main types of workspaces. The first is called My Workspace. Think of this as your personal, private sandbox. It's the perfect spot to play around and test things before anyone else sees them. But when you're ready for teamwork, that's when you use a shared workspace. That's where you and your team can collaborate on projects together.
Over in the Power BI service, you'll see your workspaces right there on the side. You've got My Workspace for all your private stuff, and then right below, you can create new shared workspaces for all your team projects. It's a simple first step, but trust me, it prevents a lot of confusion later on.
So, your reports are neatly organized in the right workspace. Awesome. Now it's time to actually share them, but we want to do this in a professional, controlled way. And that's where something called apps come into play.
And this is a really crucial point. While, yes, you can just share a link to an individual report, Power BI apps are the way to go. An app bundles all your related reports and dashboards into one single, polished package. It gives your audience a clean, easy-to-use experience and makes your work look super professional. It's just a much better way to share.
And creating an app is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Seriously. First, you set it up, give it a name and a description. Second, you pick the content, which reports you want to put inside it. And third, you define the audience, who actually gets access. That's it. When you go to build your app, you'll see those 3 steps we just talked about laid out right at the top: setup, content, and audience. You just follow along, and with just a few clicks, you've wrapped up all your hard work into a professional app for your audience to use.
Now, what if you want to get amazing insights, but you don't really want to build a whole report from scratch? Well, you are in luck, because there's a fantastic feature for that called template apps. The idea here is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of starting with a blank canvas, you use a report that's already been built for a service you probably use every day, like Microsoft 365 or GitHub. You just connect your account, and Power BI pretty much does all the rest of the work for you. What's really cool is just how many of these template apps are available. If you check out the App Source Gallery, you'll find pre-built reports for dozens and dozens of popular services. If your company uses any of these, you are literally just a few clicks away from having a powerful report ready to go.
And here's what you get: this super detailed report on GitHub activity showing all the top contributors and pull requests. This was generated from a template app. It took almost no work at all. It's an incredible time saver.
All right, so we've organized our work and we've shared it, but there's just one more critical piece to this whole puzzle: making sure the data everyone is looking at is actually up to date.
Because, let's be honest, a beautiful report that's showing numbers from last month, it's not very helpful for making decisions today. The whole goal is to give people fresh, relevant insights, which means we need a way to update our data automatically without having to do it by hand every single morning.
The solution is a feature called Scheduled Refresh, and it does exactly what it sounds like. You just tell Power BI how often you want it to go and grab the latest data from your sources, whether that's every day at 8 a.m., once a week, or even several times a day. Setting this up is super straightforward. You just go into your Dataset settings, find the Scheduled Refresh section, and flip it on. From there, you can pick the frequency, the time zone, and the exact time you want the update to happen. You set it once, and you can just forget about it, knowing your reports will always have the latest info. So there you have it. Those are the 3 core things you need to know about the Power BI service. It really all boils down to this simple workflow. First, you organize your stuff into Workspaces. Then, you share it professionally using apps. And finally, you keep your data fresh by setting up a scheduled refresh.
You now have the complete roadmap to take your work from just being on your computer to actually being used by others. The only thing left is to put it into action. So think about those reports you've been working on. Now that you know the steps, which one are you going to share first?